Hey guys! My hands again. Woo! So, not too long ago, I was cleaning out my art supplies boxes because I moved all my art stuff to my new workspace, and I happened to find this. Ta-da! It's an old watercolor palette, Crayola. It's nothing special. And I've been wanting to try watercolors for forever. I just never got around to buying anything. And when I found these, I decided I might as well practice on these before I spend any money, any big money, on the nicer stuff. So I bought myself this sketchbook and I bought myself these brushes. And I will say that these brushes in particular are pretty cheap. I've heard some not so great things about them, but like I said, I didn't want to spend any big money on this just yet. So I'm kind of just getting some cheap stuff to practice. And once I feel like I have it, or have some of it down, I'll buy some better things. And then I bought this too because the Walmart, my local Walmart, is having a big sale. So this is all they had that had to do with like watercolor. It's a mixed media paper. So, and then they have these two jars because I've been watching tutorials. I'm going to be following a couple tutorials today from Kellogg's Loops, and he said to have two things of water, one for clean water and one to clean your brushes. So I got these at Daiso. They're $1.50 each. And so pretty much all of this combined was probably like less than $20, probably less than $15. So I think I hit a good spot, you know? Like, it's good to practice with cheaper stuff. It's like I'm always telling people, work with what you got or buy something cheap, because it's as if you're buying a Wacom Cintiq before you even start digital art, you know? Like, why would you do that to yourself? That's not a smart move. What if you don't like digital art and then you just spent like $3,000 on a thing? That's not good. Unless you're rich, but I ain't rich, so. Now, fun fact about me, for some reason I never, ooh, what's that between my fingers? I never ever like to use the first page in sketchbooks or notebooks. I don't know why. I always just skip the first page. It's just too much pressure. So I'm just gonna go on the second page. And I know in his tutorial, I'll post like the thumbnail and stuff here of the tutorial I've watched. He like separated his page into little pieces to practice some things. By the way, please don't expect me to be super fantastic at any of this. I am a beginner and a baby, and I just don't know what I'm doing ever. Oh no. Okay, so the first thing I'm really interested in is doing gradients of like one color and then of two different colors. I love gradients in my digital work, so I want to try it in watercolors. So I'm very scaled, and as you can see, I don't have every color. This doesn't look like a very great palette. What did I do to this? I'm gonna start this. This is called a wet on dry technique. This is called a wet on dry technique. There's something in my throat. I'm gonna start in the middle. I can already see the bristles just like shedding off. Okay. So you do this and you paint across because that's what he said to do. One thing that I'm afraid of with watercolor is, or with any traditional stuff, is that I'm a very impatient person. I like to go head on and just get everything done and then go back to it and like add whatever. But like with a lot of traditional media, you can't do that. Like I know with when you're doing highlights with paints, a lot of the times you have to leave the highlighted parts blank because, you know, white will act as a highlight, but I can't do that. I'm not very good at working with what is it called, like negative space. I ain't good at that, so I'm kind of scaled, but you gotta learn somewhere, you know? You gotta learn different things. If I don't try different things, I'm just gonna be a dumb. I'm just not gonna, you know? What kind of artist would I be if I just didn't try anything ever? Okay, so the next thing I want to try is a gradient, but with two different colors. So I am going to go, which two colors work? Red and yellow, and then hopefully in between it'll kind of be a little orangey. So I'm gonna clean my brush. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, but you know. Clean brush. I got a PP, like real bad. But I'm just gonna hold it in a little bit. That is not a gradient. Everything is at a different angle probably. My battery died, okay? So I had to go eat toast. But I am back like an hour later. So I noticed it kind of pulled up around here. That's no good. So I'll try to avoid that later. Maybe I'll like just put tape across here because it's just like, you know how it is. And then, like I said, I was supposed to put a paper underneath, like a little border thing, so it wouldn't go to the next page. But this kind of looks cool, so I'm not super angry about it. But these are my 2 gradient things that I have so far. I'm very excited. So the next thing I want to try is, I don't know, I gotta go watch the tutorial and see what else I like. Okay, so one thing he did in another one of his tutorials, I think, is when he used, I think it's called pulling, and he made flower petals, and it looked really cool, and I want to do that too. So I'm going to be using a tinier brush. Oh, you can't see the water anymore, but it's fine. And then we're going to make some flowers. Ta-da! Can you guys see that? You guys can kind of see it. I don't want to lift it up because it's so wet and I'm afraid it's going to drip, and I'm not going to do that until this panel. That's the petal. I'm going to show you guys when I'm done, I guess. Ta-da! That is a weird petal, but I think it ended up like a little burst of something. I tried to do the same with the petals of the leaves or whatever, but it didn't end up as good as these. But it's not the worst thing I've ever made, so I'm pretty proud of this flower. So I want to do some drippy drips. So you put a lot of paint, and then you put some water, and then you tilt the paper or something. You can drip. It's not working. Why aren't you dripping? You strong. I did it. This would be very handy if I ever decide to paint Luca, because he does have those drippy things on his neck, and they are around this color, so I should try and like mimic what that would look like. Ta-da! This would probably look better if I had better paints. I want to try to paint an actual drawing. This is like the one thing I kind of don't want to do because I'm kind of scaled, but I thought it might as well go big or go home. So I'm gonna be drawing a character, and I'm not gonna do anything super special, okay? Nothing like too detailed or anything. I'm gonna do something very quick. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to line it with ink or not either, or if I'm supposed to line it with paint. I've seen some people line their drawings with ink, with pen, and I've seen some people not line any of their stuff. I don't know if I even have the correct pens to line this. I misplaced my inking pens, so I used the only pen I could find, and it is not for art. So it left a lot of marks and stuff, and I don't know how it's going to react to a bunch of watercolor paint on it, but I thought I might as well try. Again, I really don't like how this picture looks, like at all. Okay, this is 100% not the pen to use. I am going to have to get back to you guys because I'm gonna need something that can handle. That is not supposed to be yellow. What do I do if color's pulling up in places that I don't want it to pull? Do I just let it do its thing? I think I'm just gonna have to let it do its thing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just unsupervised. I was trying to do the splatter technique just for fun, It didn't really turn out the way I thought it would, but it does kind of look like the rose has like 2 alien hands. The alien hands are like, so, oh god, you can't even see it, like this. That's what it looks like, right? I think I got it, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I don't have a straw though. Apparently, if you use a straw to like blow on the paint, the splatters turn out better. Also, no matter what I do, the splatters don't really turn out like splatters. Splatter. I said it so many times it doesn't even sound like a word. Ta-da! I made this. It's obviously not that great, but it's my first like actual picture thing. So, as you can listen, compared to what I tried to do earlier, that's really bad. I don't even want to show you guys that, but this turned out way better, even though I still don't really know how to control the paint. So, especially, you can see especially in the face. Let me get that real close to you. Like, there's a lot of like patchy, like it's just like, I don't know, it like pulled in some areas, and then like I tried to fix it and it obviously didn't work because there's patches here. And I tried shading, the shading kind of like went weird, but everything else seemed pretty okay. The shading's a little harsh here, but I just have to learn how to control the paint and control how much water I use, and hopefully if I do end up getting better products, it'll be a little easier to work with. I did hear some not so great reviews on the paints that I'm using right now, and I can totally see where they're coming from. Not very pigmented and very like just a weird, I don't know, thing to use. But I am hoping to improve, and I'm hoping to buy that really nice set that I want. And yep, so that's pretty much it. Also, as you can see, remember when with the Hinata one, I tried to outline it first and then paint, and the pen ended up not being good for painting over. I decided to just use pencil and then paint over the pencil. And then I wanted to like, I outlined the face because obviously, and I wanted to outline everything else. But I ended up kind of liking the pencil instead, so I just outlined the outside just to not make it super weird. But next time I think I'm just going to keep it with pencil because I really like the pencil look. It's very soft, and I don't know, I just like it a lot better. But yeah, overall this was super fun to try and super hard. I have a ton of respect for those of you who primarily work with like paints and stuff. I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of what I did. So here's that first one. Also, I ended up starting to use like a palette because I couldn't take not using a palette. So here are just the things that I worked with. Wow, don't look at that one. It's terrible. Ah, this was just more experimenting. Ah, yes. I hope it doesn't invert in the camera. Ta-da! Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Feel free to give me some recommendations and tips in the comments. And I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Notification button, subscribe, whatever. Bye!